What is going on, my team? Happy Friday to my people out there. What is up, family? Good to see you back. Good to see everybody here in the chat awake and well, doing the thing, doing the trade. Look at the markets, man. Look at the markets actually ripping that upside right now on the SPY. Look at that thing just gap up all crazy. Huge upside. Oh my goodness. So what is up, chat? Please let me know that you can hear me speak. Let me know that you can hear me speak by typing A in the chat. Let me get those A's in the chat to make sure that you can hear your boy speak this morning. What is up, my team? All right, so Lil AR15 coming in saying we got to check the SPY, possible bull flag. Dude, yeah, I think that's exactly what's happening. Also, I'm curious to see if that could also serve as a very shorter time frame double top. I hope that's not the case, right? But whatever is happening in the broader markets, meaning that actually, you know what, this is something that we could have checked too. Jobless claims may have come in with some good news, right? So the markets are looking absolutely bullish right now, right? Very, very good stuff right now. The calls, the TQQQ calls are printing. Everything is looking very good. Anyway, I see the A's coming in the chat. I'm very happy that you can hear me speak right now. I'm super stoked to be streaming on a Friday, you guys. Happy Friday, by the way. And we are going to be looking at what? We're actually looking for a long weekend, right? Is it a long weekend or is it Tuesday that we have off? Whatever it is, we're going to go ahead and validate all that information as we go, right, team? So let's just go ahead and put some visibility here into the charts before we start charting without any screen, just like we have in the past days, right? Oh my goodness. Anyway, let me follow up with the chat here and see what the people are saying. Sebastian Lim saying, take a look at VIRI. So I have it in the stream. I have it in the stream right down here, right? Take a look at that, man. Very, very interesting rejection here at the EMA 21 on the daily. Very, very cool stuff. It's yet again, guys, this is really pushing away from actually trying to get that, you know, the what is it called? The inverse of the silver cross. It is definitely not allowing it to happen. Please take a look at that very nice hammer candle that we printed just yesterday from the rejection area that we were speaking of, right? Got that nice bounce to the upside. This is essentially the confirmation candle before a continuation to the upside. Very, very cool stuff, man. Thank you so much, Sebastian. We'll keep an eye on this as I know that there's going to be a lot of people asking questions about it, right? Even GTII is looking pretty green on the day. That's what I mentioned. That's what I mentioned yesterday, you guys. If we do get some good news, if we do get some pretty nice upside from the broader markets, then that stuff can actually assist all the other time frames and all the other sectors and all the other tickers, right? It doesn't matter what it is, but sometimes, you guys, all that pressure does help. All right, team. So anyway, please take a look right over here on the SPY as we do have that very bullish cross starting to happen right now. The RSI signal crossing above that SMA 14 and in the gravitational zone of the bullish control zone. This is absolutely powerful, you guys. Very short-term pullback here before actually continuing on to the upside. I do hope that we can combat the high of day, which is already the SPY looking at 443.36, currently sitting at 442.08, just ever so slightly a hair away from that very top side that we faced just a few minutes ago, right? Very, very interesting times here in the markets, you guys. I love what I'm seeing. So yeah, and also, of course, we're gonna keep an eye here on APE and AMC, right? Because we're trading that all weird. But yeah, it even looks like we have CL and V in the money too. Damn, everything is looking very good. Anyway, let me come back here. So SOUN pullback, nailed that one again. So the war goes is saying that I actually nailed the pullback. Is that true? I don't even remember what I said, to be very honest with you. Why don't you go ahead and remind me over what I was talking about, right? Because I don't have a clear memory over what that was. As you know, I'm covering so many tickers all at once, right? So sometimes I tend to forget. Look at that, COSM actually getting that very nice bounce to the upside from that demand zone, guys. We spoke about it just yesterday. Potential retracement back to the area of about 298. We got 299, right? And now we're pumping to the upside. We already saw a high of day at about 307 today. 304 is the current status, right? So I think that we can actually get a small short-term pullback here, though. Okay, that pullback is consistent to 303, though. So I mean, well, there it is. All right, so 303 it is. It is looking pretty good so far, right? Rejection from the hourly SMA 52. Okay, so we'll go ahead and evaluate that SMA 50 as we go, as that could serve as a pretty nice resistance for the day, as it has been for several days. Take a look at all this price action, rejection from that SMA 50. So you can see that SMA 50 is playing a pretty important role towards the upside or downside here. Okay, so we'll keep an eye on that too. Anyway, let's go ahead and load up here. Ticker symbol SOUN, because I still don't know what I said, right? So I was actually saying that I was still bullish the asset. I do remember that, right? And we also met our upside target, and we set the high likelihood for pullback, right? What I would have to say though is that I thought that we were going to get a pullback from I had these lines here because I thought that was going to be the chop zone here, but it looks like the chop zone may be adjusted here, and that could be consistent to this here. Okay, so if we do have a range this hard, like that's huge. That's a huge range and it's something that all of us can take advantage of, right? Even if we're not swing trading this, right? So you're looking at about an 18% upside, right? So that's a very clean clean chop box, right? I'm not saying that we're going to do that. I'm just saying that there is that potential. All right, so another thing to keep in mind here is that if we are actually making the rejection or the retracement based on the support level that we looked at, then we have to keep in mind the overall trend. So what does that look like? Let's see. We're still looking like a channel. Okay, so that's that upside is still going. Let me go ahead and just kind of block the visibility here for that. I'm going to take away some of these measurements and also some of the lines from, of course, this is the play that we talked about, right? That's why we have these lines drawn here for the price objectives. So let's see. Yeah, that's definitely a chat. At least this portion here is starting to make a very, very consistent channel. I'm gonna draw it in, and I'm gonna see if it's actually making sense, right? So something like this. Let's go ahead and draw it in like this. Let me see. There is a potential that it's starting from this point here, right, to that top side, and let's see. If that's it, then it's either failing one or continuing one. And I can tell you based on this. Hold on, let me see if I can connect it well here. The last thing you want to do when drawing formations, you guys, is actually forcing the formation. If you're forcing the formation in any way, then it's already drawn incorrectly, right? So we want to make sure that we're not getting that, and we're not actually trying to see something that's not actually present, right? So then that would entirely fake us out, and we would just suck, right? So all right, so I do see the bottom side is actually this candle here, right? And we can also get this down here because there could have been a psychological pump to the upside beyond this target here, just ever so slightly, right? So this is definitely I'm looking at a macro, not a macro. I just think that this was a separate formation here, right? This was the ascending broadening wedge that we actually looked at. And we actually said that there could be likely a downside to this, right? This target here was representing a potential bear trap because the bottom side of the wedge would actually lead, I think, to around 403, and we're bouncing from 408. The last thing we want to do, you guys, is actually face a resistance here anywhere upside of maybe. Let me see the 4 hour. The 4 hour may actually have a little bit better of an indication here as far as moving averages, right? No, actually everything is still kind of below us in the moving averages, so not looking bad whatsoever, team. I'm liking what I'm seeing here, team. I'm still bullish the asset, of course. We want to go ahead and evaluate this as the time goes. We want to see real-time price action, right? So this is good. All right, it's following the plan that we're talking about. Then we just have to be reactive to the current situation. All right, team. So let's just keep an eye on it for now and stop guessing, right? But this is a good indication that we are getting a nice support. We want to make sure that we can get at least an hourly closure there, and that hourly candle could be closing within 9 minutes, right? So this is a good thing. Remember one thing, you guys. Today is a very, 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 very important day. I'm going to repeat it once more. Why is it an important day? Well, today we get the weekly closure. I mean, right, it's Friday, right? So we get the weekly closure, all right? We get the monthly closure. Take a look at this. Let me just go to the, here's the weekly, right? With 4 hours and 8 minutes to go. Check this out. Bi-weekly time frame, 4 hours and 8 minutes. Monthly time frame, we have 4 hours and 8 minutes. Bi-monthly, 4 hours and 8 minutes. Quarterly, 4 hours and 8 minutes. And semi-annual, 4 hours and 8 minutes. Okay, team, so this is incredibly important, and I am noticing something of epic proportion here on ticker symbol SOUN in 4 hours and 8 minutes. If this thing closes anywhere upside of $2.59, this would mark a macro scale bullish engulfing candle formation. You heard it here first. No one else has seen this. I don't think anyone has actually pointed this out. This is a macro scale bullish engulfing, signaling a potential continuation in a bullish cycle for ticker symbol SOUN. This is absolutely powerful. You guys, we're about to get that closure, and this is not only, it's not important because we're getting all these time frames to close. It's critically important because today, the actual people who move the markets, I'm not talking about market makers, I'm talking about like big money, right? Institutional traders like hedge funds and stuff, the ones who are actually managing big money, billions, right? So these people are set to recalibrate their portfolios today. So today is the decision time to where they actually cut their losses on their losers and they actually restructure their portfolio at the semi-annual close. This is why it's critically important to see the closures of a lot of assets that we're looking at, okay? I'm worried about GTII. I'm not pointing this out in a dedicated video because I feel like I'm just going to get smacked down, right? But if you actually look at the 6 month chart, what does that look like, right? I mean, we are so close. We are so close to getting this. 4 hours and 6 minutes to close this bearish engulfing. Okay, and we need to close above this. Check this out. It's very simple. I'm gonna give it to you just as simple as this. Okay, look at the O from the OHLC. Okay, that is saying 83.05. We're currently at 81.59. We have to close anywhere upside of 83.05. So that we can disable this bearish engulfing. Okay, that's also something that's very, very critical. And you guys already know that I'm actually representing COSM now, right? You guys know that there's a partnership existing between Arca Bulls and COSM. So that's something that I want to actually show you. I actually want to show you something, right? And it's not necessarily the best news in the world. Okay, so just so that you can see that I do not care where the charts are saying that the price is going to go. My entire narrative here, you guys, is to make sure that I can provide actual information, like real information, right? So let's go to the bi-monthly chart here. 4 hours and 5 minutes to close, and what do we have in COSM here? Well, we have a bearish engulfing. So that means that closing this existing candle, which by the way is existing in $3.03, closing it anywhere below $3.29 would indicate and print an active bearish engulfing. Okay, so that's not good. Obviously, right? So also here, check this out. Weekly time frame, closure 4 hours and 5 minutes, bearish engulfing here too. The weekly time frame would have a threshold of $3.13. So if we do close anywhere beneath 313, another bearish engulfing printed right over here. Okay, team. So I just want to be as transparent as I can be. I want to be able to tell you and let you know exactly what I'm seeing here. Okay, team. So that is absolutely what I'm seeing. I'm being completely transparent to you guys. And look at that. Yeah, VIRI still continuing onto the upside, getting that very nice touch that we were looking for initially, right? So I like what I'm seeing here, guys. I don't think we should make anything more of it than what it is, right? So here's already the 4 hour. Check out the 4 hour with an upside pivot on momentum. We're getting declining volatility. That's usually indicative of a continuation to the upside. 4 hour almost getting that inverse cross of the silver cross. Very nice for this thing to actually try to reject it. Okay, so this is looking good. Also, very nice hammer candle down here before a continuation to the upside. We were expecting this, right? We were expecting a pullback here. Ticker symbol VIRI to 122. In fact, we ended up getting a pullback to the low of 114, right? So close enough. We got that bounce to the upside, looking pretty good. Okay, team, so this was consistent of a 3-day silver cross test, right? And this is what I meant right over here, right? This was the test that we're getting to see if we can actually make that upside happen from the EMA 21 crossing over the EMA 55. Anyway, team, let me go ahead and refer to the chat here. I know that I've been rambling on, but there has been some serious amount of information that I felt was pertinent and very important to talk to you about today. We must keep in mind exactly what's happening. Okay, team. So, by the way, team, let's see, the little lady may actually be coming in through the door soon, right? She's gonna be leaving for work, so don't mind if I just go and say goodbye to her as soon as she does step in here, right, team? So, oh, look at that, ticker symbol APE ripping to the upside, getting that 181 touch, reclaiming this, looking like another bull flag here. Really interesting. The reason why I'm saying this is because I know there's a trial happening right now for the AMC asset, right, regarding the speculation of having a smart money kind of played nefarious acts against retail. The apes are fighting it, right literally in court. So we're going to go ahead and see if we can actually get them to, disable the idea of merging the equity unit with the Class A stock, right? So we'll go ahead and take a look at those details too as we move, team. Everything is looking very good still. 4081 on the TQQQ, 442.30 on the SPY, holding that support on top, right? Let's go ahead and now refer to the chat. Sorry about that, team. Let's see what you got. Let's see what the people are saying. What is up, my family? Man, I'm telling you, I'm very excited to be streaming here today on a Friday. I like it. It gives us a chance to really get an edge over the trade, right? So I know a lot of people were actually nervous asking me about a few tickers, so I apologize if I haven't answered your questions just yet, and let's refer to them right now, right? So XX talking about what's up, Arca baby. Can you run through FNGR, AMC, and APE? Of course. Let's go ahead and keep an eye here on actually AMC, because yes, AMC, I want to get out of this, guys. I am actively trying to get out, right? So what you should look at here is actually the daily time frame forming a potential nice bull flag here, which is kind of indicative of a continuation to the upside, conditionally, of course, right? So we're waiting for any type of good news here from the hearing, as today is the last day. So I'm liking that APE is already running. It's just I'm not sure that these would actually run together, as some of the people holding AMC could be. This is speculative. It's not true. They could be actually liquidating position in AMC to get inside or get long APE temporarily to run on the news, right? Just ever so slightly. But AMC on the daily looks like it's holding support. Please notice here, support is also found by the RSI SMA 14. We're right there right now. This is why the price action is essentially not capitulating and continuing, right? Because it's making a fresh cross upside of the SMA 14 on the daily, which hasn't happened, right, since let's see, last Friday. So very, very curious. All right, so yeah, we're getting that break retest right now. See if we can get that retest and then bounce to the upside, consistent to what a bull flag would naturally do anyway, right? So yeah, this is a very important resistance that we're facing on APE. SMA 200 on the daily. That's a very, very tough resistance to look at. Okay, we want to make sure that we can make our way upside of the SMA 200, because that's essentially marking a bullish cycle, or the start of a bullish phase in the asset overall. The daily time frame SMA 200 is very critical for us to look at. Another thing to see here is that we are testing the EMA 21. Why are we testing that 21 over and over? We just got the silver cross here, actually. So we got it on Tuesday. We got the silver cross, right? Upside, huge upside after it, just like always. And then we come back to retrace and test the validity of the silver cross. And another thing that we should notice here is that this is the SMA 200 right on top here. This is the SMA 50. Converging between those two moving averages is indicative of a golden cross coming up. Right, so yeah, this is looking mighty mighty powerful. We're knocking at that door of the SMA 200. Very likely for this thing to actually break out of it. We'll go ahead and see, right? It's just speculation for me to say things like that. Anyway, team, let's go ahead and now keep an eye on the rest of the chat. Let's see what you guys are saying. So ticker symbol FNGR was another one, right? So, yeah, let's go ahead and pull that up. I know many of you have been asking me about that, so I apologize for not actually looking at it first. Right, so let's do it now. Master layout will load it up in there. All good. Okay, and let me see if I can get this just ever so slightly lower and pull up ticker symbol FNG. Whoa, what's going on? Whoa. All right, cool. All right, here we go. So we're on the 6-month time frame here. Let me go back to the at least an 8-hour, right? So let's see what we got here. Pop. Okay, so FNGR is, man, I'm not going to lie to you. I didn't expect for this actually to continue to the upside until last night when I was talking about a temporary resistance. Let me see if we still have that image, right? So let me go into, let's go in here. And wow, people are buying actual calls, right? So let me bring the Discord window a little bit lower. Okay, so this is the image that we pointed at just yesterday. Let's click on it and actually see if we can get it. It's very hard to see, right? These two yellow things right over here are these right over here. And we're talking about a resistance coming up at 328 to 336 potentially today. Okay, so there is whoever was actually asking about this, you know, they got calls. They got call options down here. And I was expressing my concern over a potential resistance at 328 to 336 as a temporary upside. Another thing that I would actually like to point out here and not scare everyone with is just this is I promise you this is honest, right? I'm not I'm not trying to spread FUD here, but go ahead and take a look at this. Let's just pretend that this is a nice curve, right? So that's, yep, if you already know what I'm doing, you're seeing it, right? So yeah, this is the shoulder, right? This is the head, and potential retracement to the upside where I'm looking at resistance right over here could be the formation of the top right shoulder. So that would be a head and shoulders, right? So if we're printing a herpy-derpy here, then there could be some downside to look at afterward. This could actually be setting up a bull trap. And another indication that may be the case is actually this. So whenever we're making an upside, we want to make sure that we can continue creating instances of higher lows and also higher highs, right? So what's curious here is that we were getting our higher lows. Higher lows. And then we got this one right here. And then we retraced to making a lower low. Okay, so this lower low is now consistent to a bearish formation, right? So I want you to notice these things, okay? Notice them. They're very important to notice when you're looking at structures and market conditions, right? So that lower low is a break of market structure, which would indicate a continuation to the downside conditionally. Okay, so we'll keep an eye on that too, all right? So, potential head and shoulders forming on that FNGR, okay? And this is where a lot of people, actually, I think moderator Sebastian Lim was saying maybe I should get out. So XX saying, Arca baby, can you run through FMG? I got that one. Safe Pop Culture saying, hi Arca and chat, good to see you here. And now XX saying, Arca APE AMC judge won't come out with a decision till after next week. Oh, I understand. So week of the 3rd or the 7th is out. It's way out. I heard her is after that for the decision. Okay. I understand now. Perfect. Thank you. So now Safe Pop Culture saying, please FNGR and GTII if possible. Thank you for all the market, all the market hour streams. Absolutely, my friend. Not a problem. John Martin coming in the chat. How you doing, my brother? Good to see you here. WB, good to see you. Ali, good to see you guys. So yeah, let me go ahead and load up RDFN too, right? So let's see. Mistyping it again, right? Here we go. And let's see. So yeah, just so that I can be reminded of it, right? I don't want to lose it. So our DFN is there. Okay, very huge upside. I like it. Oh man, that is a perfect reversal. I mean, the quarterly reversal couldn't be better. And in 3 hours and 54 minutes, the second candle here, this is a perfect structure actually for a continuation to the upside. Not only that is that, well, I mean, technically there is bearish divergence happening here, right? We have a declining volume with inclining price. But the thing is here is that we're still above the moving average. And if you see historically, this company is not a bad company for the fact that we actually have more earnings beats than we do earnings misses. And actually the next earnings call is coming up, you know, I guess relative to the 3-month chart, right? It's still a bit out, but that is coming up. Let's see this other thing. Hold on just a sec. There we go. What could be happening, right? So 2 days ago, home builder stocks extend gains as mortgage applications rise. Okay. So, all right, I see. Yeah, that there is. So this is the real estate. Okay, perfect. Yeah, we need to continue on the analysis here to see what could be happening in a deeper perspective, right? So this is absolutely screaming a continuation too. Very nice bullish engulfing here on a monthly, suggesting a continuation to the upside. We definitely lock that in. Okay, let's see here. I'm going down to time frames because this is really what I want to see. Bullish engulfing printing right here of epic proportion. Look at that. Huge bullish engulfing printing here on the weekly time frame, closing anywhere upside of the target of 1073. This would, I mean, we're 1274. Right, so we're way up there. Look at the weekly time frame RSI finding that support from the SMA 14, very consistent to several months of this, right? So very awesome times here. RDFN definitely suggesting a continuation to the upside, and this was actually a breakout out of a triangle, right? So this is, yeah, guys, this thing is following geometrics. It is following lots of things. It looks like fundamentals are already there too. The little lady has arrived, guys. Hold on just a sec. Let me go ahead and say goodbye to her. Feast your ears with some temporary tunes. Just a moment, team. Thank you. Just a sec. Okay, team, I am back. Thank you so much for being so patient with that. I actually do appreciate it. I notice it in the viewers that anytime I do say that I have to say goodbye to my little lady, to my wife, right, when she's off to work, I notice that either the viewers increase or they maintain. So I appreciate the respect for her so much, team. Okay, I do love it. Another thing to notice here on RDFN was this. I was going to point out a very rare breakout here, actually, as this is an ascending. I'm going to use a regular trend line, right? This is an ascending triangle too, or a rising wedge. Sorry. So the rising wedge is consistent to a bearish formation, right? And this formation usually ends up giving us an implied target or a price objective, if you will, right? So we are getting some pretty nice contact points here, right? Consistent to this here, and we have consistency down here, and this could be the breakout. Retracement could happen here to about 12.15, right? Current price action is at 12.76, but remember, this is relative to a weekly time frame. So if this actually is the breakout, then there is a price objective to observe, right? So that would be from the top of the trend line to the very bottom side here of the triangle. That would be your bull set number one. So this implying that this would be the closing candle for that, which is over in 3 hours and 48 minutes, the weekly. That would not only mark off a bullish engulfing, but this would be a buy formation breakout. And this is actually giving us the topside target based on the triangle and this bullish formation. Very, very clear indication for a continuation to the upside here. Secondary targets to look at, of course, right from the center of the triangle. Let me just go ahead and fix my OCD here, because I really need to get that to look proportioned equally, right? So the center of the triangle, of course, is that secondary target that we can evaluate, right? So just like this, apply it to the breakout candle. We just move it slightly to the right to make sure that we don't get in the way with this one, right? So that's implying 1732. Okay, nice. And then the last target may have already been realized. Okay, so that would be from here, right? And this is your third target to look at. And this is actually, let me move this slightly out of the way, right? And then this line, we apply it to this area here. Let's just move it to the right ever so slightly. And it looks like we did get the top side on that today. Okay, so perfect. We got the first touch of it. Of course, we're going to get a retracement based on that first target, right? And then we would actually get that validation and then a continuation to the upside. Still lots of it still looks like there's lots of upside to look at for this asset. So yeah, good call on RDFN. In fact, $12.68. We are not looking at a SPAC here. We are looking at a, let's see, market cap is actually 1.4 billion, and the shares float is 105 million. To be very honest with you, this fits the criteria of a small cap and is usually where I trade. Okay, so this is as it really does present a pretty nice amount of volatility. It's not so insane, and you can't mangle it so easily, right? Since it is a $12, $13 asset thus far. Okay, so let's go ahead now and look at the immediate short-term time frame, just so we can get out of this real quick and get back to the chat, right? So it looks like the 30-minute time frame is already corrective in momentum. Let me show you why. This right over here, looking like we could have already found that bottom. Potential overall correction here to start an upside pivot, which is literally mathematically figured, right? Another thing that we can see here is that we're increasing volatility. So as we're increasing volatility, meaning, or AKA hitting the gas, right? We're literally throttling right here, right? Into a correction towards the upside. That can only mean that this might be a very powerful move, and that can actually help the cascading of events here. So we would move on to the hourly time frame, where this would actually start correcting towards the upside from critical volatility, right? Next time frame would cascade into it too from oversold. All of these are oversold, and it looks like that floor may potentially be in. Okay, if we are to face one more downside here, I will give that target to you. Okay, it would be consistent to the lower wick of this area here, which we could have already faced literally today, right here. Right, so yeah, I would actually have to, let me see if there's a moving average there too. Oh, damn, no, there isn't. Okay, so yeah, that range, guys, would actually lead from right over here down to, I'm sorry I have to say it like this, but yeah, it would actually have to be 1256 to 1170 is an area of support here, right? SMA 50 down here, and this is the inflection point between these two candles in this area. Okay, so keep an eye on those targets, team, and I do think that there could be a nice continuation to the upside. Conditionally, of course, we need to make sure to start getting the 30-minute time frame to start getting that upside. Let's see, 15 should have it already. There you go, 15 minutes has it already. 5 minutes should already show it too. There we go. So we'll start getting that. We'll start getting that increase in volatility, right, and also shares being traded, right. So, and that would actually introduce a pretty nice upside. Wait for the 30-minute momentum to start correcting towards the upside, and you have your first time frame down. Let it cascade into the hour, bi-hourly, 4-hour, and so on. All right, team, looking good, not bad. All right, so anyway, let's go ahead and continue on with some more tickers here, right? So let me go back to the chat and see what's going down. Team, love you all for coming by. Really appreciate you. Happy Friday to all of you. And let's see what else we have. So I haven't said hi to everyone, right? So what's up, Scott? What's up, Ali? Good to see you. Good vibes. Good to see you here. And we already said hi to WB, right? Sebastian Lim saying, where are you expecting the pullback for ticker symbol VIRI? Let's go ahead and pull it up real quick. I have my entire thesis up, so that's good. Let's see. I want to see the overall conditions right now too. Oh, what? No way. How did I not see that before? Hold on just a sec. This bullish, by the way. Bullish. No worries. Well, the hourly time frame is corrective, but it's showing that it could be a downside for now too. Right, but what I'm seeing here, let me load up a whole new chart here because it's going to be a little difficult to go over all those drawings, right? Literally a whole brand new chart. So let me just pull up ticker symbol VIRI on the hourly time frame, right? Let me make sure that we are on log for logarithmic chart, and this is essentially a very short-term time frame reaccumulation formation. This is a broadening descending wedge. And that's why I'm saying, like, how did I not notice this, right? So this is incredibly bullish. There could be a retracement as we speak, actually. Let me see if I can get this to line up. I have to. It looks like I really do have to favor these connections here, as it would be consistent with this contact point. Let's see the next trend line, right? So the next trend line would actually be maybe somewhere along the lines of actually this. Consistent to these touches here, all of this contact point there, and the resistance point here as well. Okay, so yeah, this is a broadening descending wedge on a very immediate short-term time frame. Okay, so in other words, what I'm seeing here is also a breakout. Okay, so there could be a retracement here, and we have to look at the. Let me look at the RSI. We need to pay close attention to this. Because some people could get trapped, but, you know, if you're not looking closely, right, if you're not being as creative as you can be. So RSI, we're looking immediate short-term time frame, hourly. In the 30 minutes should also have the, okay. So we have downside here, which means that we could be facing that support relative to the hourly or the 30-minute time frame. We'll identify that support, okay, because this is the SMA 14 down here. I'm saying short-term downside because this is the gravitational zone of the bear weakness percentile, which means that bounce from the gravitational zone and the SMA 14, 2 times the support, right? And then the 4-hour time frame, this looks more like consolidation. Notice how it's still sticking within the gravitational zone. Literally this gravitational zone, right? So right over here, we're in that gravitational zone, potential short-term pullback on the hourly and the 30-minute. This will correct and continue on to the upside. Okay, I'm starting to see some very clear signs of an upside continuation here. Look at this. We're about to get a bullish cross on the 12-hour RSI. In fact, it's already happening. Okay, so that's incredibly bullish here, as the asset hasn't been above it since about Friday, June 16th. All right, so this is looking bullish too. Upside pivots on the 3-day and the 5-day. We will have to practice some discretion here because there is a high probability that there could be a little small time retracement. Okay, so but we're holding right now support at that EMA. The EMA 55. The reason why I'm saying there could be a short-term retracement here also is because not only the breakout to retest to test the breakout of the resistance and conversion of resistance into support, but that's also consistent to the EMA 21 and the SMA 10 located right down here. Very, very likely for price action to come down into this area. I cannot guarantee that, by the way, because momentum is not suggesting that. Momentum is suggesting a very short-term downside, which would be consistent to this lower end here, around 143, right? But if you're looking at the traditional trading rules, which by the way, they don't take into account current psychology, what I mean is just how can it, I know the rules are the rules, right? But how can we tell that those are the rules particular to the sentiment in this very moment? Well, we don't, right? So this is why we can only speculate. And that is why we're kind of calling out the potential of retracing back to this zone here. If we do get that zone, you know your loading zone though, right? That's going to be right at about 139. It's not so far away. Current price is 145. Okay, team. So keep an eye on that, but I definitely see an upside continuation here. If we do get a nice thrust to the upside, then we could actually look upwards of about $1.58 resistance come Monday or whatever day, right? We're going to evaluate which is going to be the closure for the holiday. I forgot what it was. The Independence Day, right? So when is that? Is that coming up on, jeez, I don't have the damn calendar up. Here we go. July 4th is going to be on Tuesday. Yeah, so we're going to be trading on Monday. Potential, Tuesday, the in observance of it, of course, the markets are going to close, right? So we're going to have a short week coming up again, which is going to present a lot of volatility yet again. Okay, so the good thing is that I'm not seeing, I have to double check this, but I'm not seeing any macroeconomic data to be released, at least in the early part of next week. I do have to double check that though, right? Because the Fed and everything else has been kind of mangling the price here over the last week. Right, so look at this, man. TQQQ absolutely running 442.77 on the SPY. TQQQ currently sitting at 40.94, making my calls print right now. Very good. Ticker symbol APE actually still combating that SMA 200 at $1.80. And actually, we're starting to get that retracement here from AMC, just like we said, guys. We were potentially finding that floor here on that SMA. On that SMA 14 support of the daily time frame RSI, right? So this is looking good. And now also right here, GTII combating that upside. The high of day has already been marked at, let's see, at 85 cents. So remember, the bearish engulfing formation that's happening in the bi-monthly or the 3-month, whatever that was, is 83.05. It's critically important that we do close upside of 83.05 in order for us to kind of dismantle that bomb, the bearish engulfing formation. Okay, so yeah, keep an eye on that, team. All right, let me go ahead and check on my broker here and see what's going down with my call options, because I think I'm currently up a great deal percentage wise, right? So 80, 90, 100, 100. Okay, so I'm up 113% on the day on, let's see, 3 TQQQ calls with a $42 strike. And that $42 strike, I'm out of the money, so I'm gaining extrinsic value as I'm moving up, right? So 50, 60, wow, that's very good. Oh my goodness, it's about to reach $41. These calls don't even know what to do. They're like, oh, we want to not give you any money, but we have to. Yeah, you have to. All right. Anyway, team, let's go ahead and get back to the chat here and see what's continuing. Right, man, I love it. I love to see it. Right. So anyway, let's see the chat. What's going down, chat? Let's see. So I know that sometimes it takes a bit long for me, guys. So I'm going to go ahead and try to go through this chat a little faster, right? Because I'm kind of falling behind here with all of you. So let's do this, right? Yeah. You know what? I know that some of you were asking me also about looking at either BTC or any of the Bitcoin miners, right? But let me load up a whole new master layout. I was typing it in the wrong place. Okay, so let's do this and look at ticker symbol WULF, which is ticker symbol WULF. Lots of people trading WULF, by the way. So WULF and TeraWulf. Here we go, Bitcoin miner, right? So we're actually breaking outside of a chop zone. Let's see where we have that current support. Okay. Why are you breaking down? Oh, that's because right, I think Bitcoin was actually showing a little bit of weakness, but that's only for the short term. To tell you the truth, Bitcoin is also going to make a closure here, a big closure of, I think it was a monthly bullish engulfing, right? So that's very, very interesting, as it would actually introduce a continuation to the upside, particularly to around 33, maybe $34,000 BTC. So that would actually increase the possibilities of making some Nice returns on ticker symbol Riot, MARA, ticker symbol WULF. Lots of them like that. So here's BTC on the hourly spot price action, Bitcoin versus the US dollar, and you can actually see that we did get that very, very interesting retracement here. This I don't want to say this, but this could be okay, let me put it like this, right? Closing anywhere below the invalidation zone, which could be about 29,842. We're at 30,107. This could introduce a continuation to the downside, right? So the thing that we don't want to do, and this is why we got that panic sell here, right? The thing that we don't want to do is close absolutely below 29,500 bucks. Any hourly closure beneath that target there would actually introduce a further capitulation. Okay, so that's that it's very critical that you know that doesn't happen. But something that I can tell here is that oftentimes when we're getting a massive amount of consolidation like this, that's and then when you get this massive downside here, that's usually a shakeout, right? So that's usually the shakeout before a continuation to the upside. Don't take it as financial advice, right? Because I don't know that for a fact. But yeah, that would essentially give Wolf a reason to fall too, right? So this is why it's failing, is because BTC would be its index, right? So let's see, let's make sure that we can keep an eye on this, right? So hourly time frame, we have an immediate rejection right up here. This is the SMA 50 and the SMA 200. That would be located at 30,400, so easily a $300 move to the upside. I'm not sure that it can actually do that, right? If it can actually succeed that. Let's see the 15-minute time frame resistance. Yeah, this is very consistent to the resistance I'm talking about. So maybe 30,265 to about 30,400 would be the topside resistance here, which could then introduce a potential retracement. Okay, so oftentimes momentum gets flashed when this happens, right? Please take a look at here. I know that it's correcting ever so slightly here with critical volatility. Hourly time frame looks like it still has that downside. Let's see, the bi-hourly still has that downside with increasing volatility. 4-hour time frame downside with increasing volatility. The thing is that this was a huge downside, so I'm not sure if this is the current wave or we're actually correcting it. So we have to keep an eye on BTC. Ticker symbol WULF could be showing that bottom side support, but remember that this does have a secondary support for us to evaluate, and failing this hourly candle here, 32 minutes, would actually introduce a potential retracement to 158 to 160. If I have to show extra discretion here, it would actually favor the SMA 200 at the hourly time frame here at 156. Okay, keep an eye on those targets, and that either could serve as a pretty nice longing opportunity, or that would be the invalidation zone. Okay, because this is the bottom side candle here that we do not want to fail. Okay, because that would introduce a very nice little downside all the way down to 148, where the 2.618 is. We're currently holding support at the 1.618. Okay, so that's it is a strong support, but it's not unfailable. Right? So keep an eye on that. All right. Anyway, let's go ahead and see. Let's go ahead and continue on here with the chat, right? So Independent Wasteland saying, hey, bro, if you have time, do you mind doing a brief rundown of your history and experience in trading? Did you say you used to work at a firm? You're a wizard. Bro, love your show. Much love, man. So Independent Wasteland, I know that there's a fair bit of people here who do actually know my story. Of course, I can give it to you, right? I'm not gonna spend a great deal of time on that, as I know that some people are actually trying to get some market gains on a Good Friday here, right? So I actually have been trading. Let's put it this way: what we're approaching July, right? So let's see, let's just say July 1st. So August 16th would mark my second year of trading. I did not work for a firm prior to this, but I have been offered institutional positions at proprietary trading desks. To be perfectly honest, it has been 3 positions that I've declined thus far. One for an institution at risk management, one for an institution for crypto, so that would be Bybit and MEXC for their proprietary trading desk. And I forgot the name of the other one, but yeah. So I've already been offered institutional positions to be, one of their traders at their trading desk. Who knows? Maybe I could have become a licensed market maker as well. But I have not actually considered in doing that because I can't. My son is the reason why I became anything here, why I became Arca in the first place, right? He actually went through some serious times when he was 2 years old. He's now 3, right? So when he was 2 years old, Mom and I almost lost him. He actually had a serious issue of low blood iron, and that actually introduced a very, very scary time for us, right? So he reached the level of 2, which was critically low, at least for the doctor, from the doctor's perspective. We almost lost him that day, and actually staying in the hospital for days and days, looking at him and me being broke as all hell, actually ended up sparking something in my brain that I had never felt before. In fact, I most of the time failed math in high school, right? So now it's quite the different story. I actually taught myself some physics, some statistics. I taught myself also how to code a little bit, right? And thus created algorithms like the moving average strategy that you're seeing here, right? The ARC-A's this is my code, right? So, and several other indicators that people have seen, right? So I have not actually traded professionally. I have only traded as retail, right? So, but the fuel was the loss of my, the potential loss of my son. So that is why I ended up trading the way I do, right? So it was, I saw an episode, I think it may have been, what was it? I think it was, who's that guy? House? The hospital one, or it was probably Grey's Anatomy, but one of those. Actually, this guy was going to lose his daughter. She had a serious issue, and he actually made a contribution, right, quote unquote, a contribution to the hospital of around $5 million, which, by the way, actually ended up being a very nice contribution, seeing that his girl actually ended up being safe the next day after he did that, right? So I was in my mind, I'm like, man, if I actually make a charitable contribution, quote unquote, like of that nature, then maybe my son can live, right? So my brother introduced me to trading amongst other friends too. So then I started looking at trading, and then I made the critically stupid ass mistake that literally I'm correcting right now as we speak, literally right now. That's why I have AMC and APE up here, right? Because I am strategically trying to exit this position from 2 years ago, right? So that actually presented an enormous loss. So that was actually my first attempt at it. Huge lesson learned, right? And from there, I just kept reading. I came up with this mathematical sequence. I presented it in Twitter as under the alias Arca just 9 months ago or 10 months ago, right around there. And I wanted people to actually react to it and see if there could be a potential there, or other mathematicians to correct my thesis and add to it. Instead, I actually started getting a lot of followers because I actually started calling the plays, right? I didn't mean to call the plays. I was just trying to show that my thesis worked. So I would say, red box ticker is going to do this tomorrow. And it did, right? And then this is this ticker right here. I made a backtest of volatility versus momentum. And this is the higher probability target that we can do. And it did the next day. So oftentimes I would hear, hey, this guy is actually calling every shot here, right? He's actually saying this, he's saying that. I never meant to become this influencer. It just kind of fell onto me because I started providing that thesis. Right. So that started growing, and the Twitter started growing so exponentially to the point to where I couldn't keep up with it anymore, because I was literally making 15-part threads, 20-part threads of my analyses. Right. So at that point, I couldn't handle it anymore. So I created a Discord so I can and I was also helping out BBIG, Vinco Ventures, the apes there. So that, was difficult. The hedge funds were obviously keeping an eye on me, just like they do for GTI, speculative, right? What people say. So I created a private Discord. That was too difficult to manage. So I then created a YouTube 7 months ago. So this YouTube is only 7 months old. I'm very thankful to see literally just about 30 followers, subscribers, short of 7,000 people, right? Averaging around 1,000 people a month. It's ridiculous. I never meant for that to happen, team. Okay, so in fact, because I almost lost my son, and because I lost all that money in AMC and APE, that's the reason why I actually entertained the idea as an influencer and starting to help people, you know, so that they don't have to suffer what I actually suffered, right? Of course, we're all suffering through something similar like that, but sorry for the long story, my brother. I hope that actually helped answer your question, right? So, but yeah, dude, Independent Wasteland, thank you so much for your support, my brother. And, but yeah, man, follow the Discord. Ask me anything you want. I'm always going to be as transparent as I can be, right? So, in fact, it's very good news. I actually just partnered with COSM, and there are now a couple of other companies that I may partner with. So for becoming their data analyst or their statistical analyst, right? So this is great news, because this will allow me to have the companies pay me instead of using retail to pay me, right? So this way we maintain all the services in Discord for free, let the companies pay Arca, and let Arca provide for the family, right? You guys, this is absolutely the idea that we want. So hit that notification button, hit that like button if you do feel that I deserve it, or that I actually, just help me out. But thank you for the questions here. Baron saying, good to see you, my bro. He's saying, sorry, I'm late to the squad. Man, you're not late, my bro. Everything is good here. Not a problem. Okay, so let's continue on the chat here. What are you guys saying? So, good morning, everyone, says Joel. Baron saying, when we have a second, can we dive into VIRI and ALTO? You know what? We already dove into VIRI, right? So why don't we take a look at ALTO? I know a lot of people were asking me about this over the last few days. It's not a ticker that I actually traded myself at all, but I know that at least we've had some consistency with the call outs on that. Okay, so let's bring it up and see what we can do about it. Okay, did we actually, let me see the daily, hold on. All right, so, nice. Okay, the daily time frame, we're in the process of converting that SMA 200 into a support. That is massively bullish. Okay, so we got to touch into our demand zone here. Okay, so that's good. Could there be a continuation to the upside? Well, first, there's a danger that we need to combat. 3 hours, 22 minutes, we're going to be closing this candle here. If this candle closes anywhere beneath the opening of this candle here, which is the 281 target, we're currently at 283, just ever so slightly, a hair away from that, right? We close anywhere below 280, anywhere below 281, that would mark a bearish engulfing on a daily variety. Okay, so you don't want that. All right, so this is actually making a very, very interesting step stair formation, right? So we have chop boxes here, very similar price action too. This is fractal, right? And we spoke about a higher probability breakout here because of the broadening descending wedge. And you know what? I know that we came just short of the target here. We spoke about it yesterday, right? So I was expecting a touch of 301, but we ended up coming up to a high of 294. That's where we literally left it off. Sorry, guys. Sorry about that. That was actually the little guy's moving right now, but he's all good. He's just shifting in bed, looking good. All right. Anyway, team. So yeah. We're in the process of converting that support, which would actually give us a chance to support this here, 301 to 312. And if I'm not mistaken, we can actually see that happen. And I was talking about a backtest on this that I actually didn't do. Yay, Arca. Huge. Okay, another thing here is a huge cup and handle, right? That herpy derpy giving us a very, very interesting target to look at here. Okay, so if we were to mark off, let's just take formation theory here into some account, right? Let's just pretend some, right? Pretend like it actually works. It's just I hate formations, you guys. Math is where it's at, and you apply this trend line here to the top of the shoulder here, and it would give you a target of, let's see, around 414, which is actually at the resistance of all of this. Okay, so it is consistent. The upside is continuing to. I'm not saying that we're going to go there. I'm just saying that there is an objective to look at. Secondary objective, of course, is the broadening descending wedge. Take profit for this is actually, by the trading book rules, 532, the genesis of the formation itself, right? So the better you know your rules, the better you'll know the play. And notice here that the SMA 200 and the 50 are converging. That is set to create maybe a bullish golden cross that could happen in, I'd say, about 2 weeks. So potential 2 weeks cross here would actually introduce a very nice upside, which would then actually bring into fruition this 414 target from the cup, followed by the top side of around 532. This is actually becoming macro bullish overall. This is looking like a huge correction. I understand that this has a very large history here. And what I can say is that as long as we are beneath the target of about, I'm sorry that I'm saying this, okay, but as long as we are beneath the target of $276, we're in bear territory, right? With huge ebb and flow in between, right? But I just need you to be absolutely clear about this, right? It's just that's kind of the drawdown here of having an asset that has traded from $1 million all the way down, right? So top side is $4,672. Who knows why? Who knows when? And regardless of that, why or when, it doesn't matter. We are reactive to the current market conditions, right, team? So what I do like is actually the monthly time frame is showing 2 consecutive green candles, and the second of which is closing in 3 hours and 19 minutes. And notice the SMA 50 posture right here, right? We're starting to get an upside here, which is absolutely big time here, guys, since it's a monthly time frame. Takes a lot of pressure of months, right, to pressure anything to the upside. Take a look at this right here. Every single candle printed within this area is a monthly iteration, and look at how it reacted. That SMA 50, it barely reacted. So us to get this pivot towards the upside is massive, okay? This is looking pretty good. Another thing to notice here is this. Let me make it large here. SMA 14 is now below the RSI signal on the monthly time frame, and we're about to close this monthly, decreasing pressure on the bulls. Man, this is looking macro bullish, guys. I like it. Ticker symbol ALTO. I know that there's some ebb and flow within the shorter time frames, but I am looking at a higher probability here for a continuation to the upside in the months to come as well. All right, so yeah, you guys, I definitely see this retracing back to the if you want to retrace here, we could be to 276 at the very lowest point. 276 is actually a gap. Okay, not a gap. I want to say that there is like a sort of imbalance to this wick high. So this could be a resistance support level, right, to look at, right, just in case. The hourly time frame SMA 50 may very well be located here by the closing of this. Maybe even in 20 minutes it could be located there. Who knows? But we'll keep an eye on that stuff too, you guys. Just remind me if you need me to continue looking at this, right? Let's go back to the broader markets and see what's going down, right? So 4105 on the TQQQ, 4106. It's shifting up and down. Oh man, this is absolutely bullish. Let me go back here. What is going down with my position? Okay. It moved beyond $41 and you haven't moved. Go higher. Anyway, team, let's go ahead and come back here to ticker symbol VIRI. Still rejecting that EMA 21 at 153, right? Current position is 145. Not looking too bad. 80 cents on GTII. Man, I really thought that we were going to be able to hold that SMA 10 here. So let's see what time it is. There could be a shift coming up soon. It is 9:43. I see why we're starting to decline. Hopefully by 10:30 a.m. this can actually start recovering and make an upside move. We'll keep an eye on those things too, okay? Ticker symbol APE still actually resisting right from that SMA 200, and we're getting the bounce from the SMA 10 on AMC just like we thought, right? So that, oh man, it's actually it's teetering right at the border of it. So we'll keep an eye on that stuff too, okay, team? Let's go back to the chat and see what's going down. Okay, like I said, guys, I'm going to try to move through the chat comments here a little faster because I fell back, right? So the Bled saying, yo, Arca, good morning. Johnny Barnes, good to see you, my bro. So why change now? Saying, gotta go eat sushi with my daughter for a belated Father's Day. I'll watch for VIRI later. Just bought some call options to scalp. Oh, my brother. All right, man. Good deal. Inverse head and shoulder, John Martin. I'm sorry, I didn't actually keep up to where you were talking about that, right? So let's continue here. What's up, Aronson? Good to see you. Daniel Diaguero, what's up, brother? IFUS, if you have some time. Not a problem, dude. Let's go ahead and take a look at that right now. So IFUS, let's see. So IFUS, that is Impact Fusion, right? Cool. Let's load up the daily time frame and see what we got. In other words, let's pop the hood, right? So, very nice little bull flag here forming, right? Invalidation zone, we have to note this, okay? You guys always note your invalidation zones, right? So in this case, we do have a steady I would say about 221, right? So 221 right there would essentially be our invalidation zone. Let's mark it off just like this here so that we can actually keep it in mind. There we go. Okay, and I also hate that it's a dotted line. Let me make it solid here. There we go. So this is a clear invalidation zone. If price action tends to fall there and close with a daily candle minimum beneath this zone here, then we could be introduced into a deeper capitulation here. Okay, but this does not actually scream too much capitulation. In fact, it screams a continuation to the upside. As it could be a very nice opportunity to get long. I'm not saying that this is actually going to come down here, but in fact, we can look at that potential now. Okay, so, wow, 30-minute time frame stochastic momentum is suggesting a continuation to the upside pretty aggressively here. We're about to start correcting the volatility to start pivoting towards the upside. Let's see the hourly time frame. So hourly time frame is absolutely pitched to the upside in the gravitational zone of the bullish control zone. This is very likely set to continue to the upside. Short-term pullback to around the area of about 286 before a continuation to the upside. SMA 50 is getting that conversion on the hourly as a valid area of support, and this RSI is actually telling us the very same thing here. SMA 14 could have a high confluence to the SMA 50 right now. Okay, so by hourly time frame, upside pivot on the SMA 14, right? But it looks like we're starting to get a correction on the EMA 3. We have to keep an eye on that. The EMA 3 is the leading indicator above the SMA 14. First of all, because it's exponential. Second of all, because it's a really shorter term time period. 4-hour time frame upside pivot, very nice. A little ebb and flow here. Yeah, this could. Oh, I see. Right. Okay, so this is not bad, right? First of all, we got a golden cross on the 4-hour, which means that we're gonna start cascading that golden cross upwards and onwards. Here's the 6-hour golden cross. Let's see the 8-hour if it got it already. Yep, 8-hour golden cross already happened. Let's see the 12-hour. All right, converging. We're about to get that 12-hour, okay? And that means that after the 12-hour gets it, the daily will be the next one, converging here as well. So it's macro bullish, right? So what I would like to say here is that we could be in the process of building symmetric a pennant, right? So let's go ahead and kind of go over that. I'm trying to remember my formation theory as much as I can, because it tends to get a lot of market attention or retail's attention, right? So this is the pennant that I'm actually taking a look at, right? So something along the lines of maybe like this, who knows, right? So let's just go ahead and kind of draw it in like that and speculate, right? So we're already at the apex of the triangle. A breakout could be happening soon, unless we are looking at this in a deeper perspective. And if that is the case, then there are several ways to kind of correct the trend line here, and that would be something along the lines of maybe like this here, which actually is very possible. This is not, no lie, this is starting to feel a little better. 3 contact points here. And let's see here. So this would essentially, oof, man, we're at about 75-80% to the apex of the triangle. This is a continuation formation. Remember this, okay? It is a continuation formation because it's being built during an upside, okay? So just like the other triangles, this also has a price objective to evaluate, right? So in this case, we can actually take that trend line, right, from the very top side of the triangle to the bottom side of the triangle, a little short, whatever, and we can apply it to the supposed area of breakout. Let's just say that it were this 8-hour candle, the following one, right? So that top side target would actually lead to around, let's draw it here, 385. And where is 385? So 385 is literally a resistance range right up here. Historically speaking, this is also, oh man, this is the high right here. Let's see, that's 366. Oh, no, sorry, this one here, 382. Wow. Okay, so yeah, lots of things rhyming within that 385. Huge resistances everywhere around that target. Very, very nice. Okay, yeah, so that's a very likely and actually an inflection point, okay? So if we are set to make that upside, it would be in respects to these bullish golden crosses happening. So that's an indication that it is a continuation to the upside. However, I must warn that upon realizing any of these targets, particularly the one that I'm eyeballing here is 339 in respects to this entire chop zone here, right? That retracement could actually lead to a deep correction to test the SMA 50 wherever that may be on the daily. Okay, so This, yeah, it could face maybe a continuation to the upside for the next few days and then reject at somewhere around there before we can actually get a retracement back to validate or to confirm the validity of the SMA 50 over the SMA 200, aka the golden cross, right? So, oh man, look at that. Yes, the option calls are still going. TQQQ at 41.13 right now. It's looking very, very, very spicy. All right. Very nice. Okay, you guys. So yeah, that is what I'm looking at for ticker symbol IFUS. Just to give you a quick little picture here. Yeah, definitely upside into 30-minute momentum. Hourly has an upside momentum as well. Okay, MACD looking very good to the upside as well. And yeah, okay, yeah. So the shorter time frames are going to start cascading into the larger ones. We just need to make sure that they can keep a good amount of momentum, right? So that they maintain the present momentum. That would be good. Bi-hourly time frame about to make that bullish cross upside of this is the MACD cross, right? So bullish cross happening, almost happening there. All right, so yeah, let me go ahead and come back to the chat. That is it for IFUS, my bro. I hope that did help you out some, right? Snowdrifter coming in the chat saying happy Friday to you, my friend. And let's see, Joel saying, can I look at RNLX? You know what? Hold on, Joel, because I know Daryl has actually been asking me for ticker symbol HUT for, I think I've seen it now for a couple days. And to tell you the truth, I was not actually thinking that it was a valid ticker for some odd reason, right? So let me look at the daily time frame as this looks incredibly frothy, right? So 332 presently right now, ticker symbol HUT looking absolutely powerful. Is this a Bitcoin miner as well or what? I've actually never heard of ticker symbol HUT. But yes, man, this is a huge rejection here. That could serve as sometimes when we're printing a candle like that, you guys, that can actually present a pretty substantial danger. Okay, so if there is a danger to this, then that would be in respects to testing the SMA 50 from the daily golden cross. But if we already did that, that may have been here and here. So what else could it be? It could actually be a golden cross on a 3-day. Let's see. No, way too far. Let's look at the bi-daily. That's getting very close. I see why. Okay, so yeah, there is a deeper correction to happen here upon reaching, I would say, the targets of, yeah, this thing still has upside, by the way, okay? 358 to 370, huge rejection there, and very likely to come back and test the SMA 200. The SMA 200 could be located at around 312, maybe even 313, 315, right around there after we get that pullback from around 370. Remember, it's a range, though, okay? The 370 is not the target. 351 to 370, I said, okay? So keep an eye on that resistance there, as very likely we'll come back and test that SMA 200 as a valid support before continuing on to the upside. Triangle breakout right over here, right? Already meeting the top side of the range, too. Okay, so keep an eye on those things, okay? Because that can actually present some danger if you are not paying attention closely. Another thing that we can tell that there could be a retracement coming in is the bearish divergence that we're getting here on volume versus price action. You're getting an incline of price versus a decline on volume. Keep an eye on that, okay? Know your rules. Know the play, and you'll be able to identify exactly what could be happening with the price action, right, team? So, yeah, this would mark off a very interesting double top scenario here, right? Especially that this is literally how you correctly view a double top formation. It's more on the weekly time frames, right? So this is the top here. We're looking at a potential secondary top. Let's see the bi-weekly. Right, yeah, there we go. So this is how we can actually see it. Another thing here is actually an inverse head and shoulders happening here. So this could actually introduce a pretty, I think actually a bigger upside. Temporary retracement, right, of course. So we are looking at the neckline being located right about here for this formation, right? So remember that oftentimes everyone looks at these the neckline in a different way, right? So it doesn't have to be the way I look at it. Everyone will perceive it differently, right? So in this case, we can take a trend line from the top side of that neckline, right, to the bottom side of the head, and we can apply it to the top side of the right shoulder, which could be actually right about here. Top side target to face here is actually very confluent with the resistance levels of this chop zone here. That would be at about $8.16, right? So let's see geometrically if we can actually fulfill that, because there is a chance that it can happen. Okay, so we'll take into consideration the overall range high to range low before we got this upside, right? Actually, we can take this high to this range low. Okay, these two. So let's take a fib from those points there and take a look at the upside target. So that's a little too short. I want to make sure that we can actually reach it. So let's stick to our initial plan, right? Overall range high to range low. So or consistent to the breakout that we're facing now. Okay, here we go, and we are looking at 816 top side. The four spot 236 is coming out at, I believe, 828, sorry. So yeah, that gives us a very, that is incredibly close, team. That 828 to 816 looks like it's so tiny. So that naturally gives us a resistance range, right? Of course, we have to keep in mind the 4 spot 618. So we'll go ahead and keep it like this, right? So 816, let me put it there. I guess it's going to come out. I can't get any better than 817. It's all good, team. So here we go. This is the resistance range that we're looking at, right? So, my goodness, it's such a big time frame. It's hard to get it tight. Let me go ahead and put it in at 8. There we go. Nice. 895. 816 to 895, team. This is our resistance range to look at. Potentially reach those targets within the next coming weeks, actually. So, but first of all, we would actually face a rejection here from the bi-weekly SMA 50 at 423. Huge moves there as it marks a potential 80% continuation. Let's see. Actually, it's marking off about almost a 30% continuation here before a retracement. And that retracement would be consistent to testing the 1 spot 272 at 303 before getting long this asset again. I'm not saying that this is going to face a resistance. I'm just saying that the probabilities land with facing a resistance based on a major moving average. Okay, so now the next thing to notice here is that we would have the the 1 spot 618 located at 364. Retracement from that SMA 50 to 364 would be ideal. Okay, this is looking not bad, team. Let's look at the immediate short-term time frame. Do we have a continuation to the upside or what? Right, so let's see. In fact, we do. 30-minute time frame already suggesting a continuation to the upside from stochastic momentum. We're getting that bullish cross upside of the SMA 14 on the RSI. 30-minute, of course, right? So let's look at the hourly time frame. Are we bleeding into it yet? Not yet. Okay, the shorter time frames are literally about to start affecting the higher term time frames. Okay, team, this is looking absolutely bullish. We have a series of higher highs, higher lows. Very, very nice structure. Testing that SMA 50 all the way up, getting that bullish golden cross here in the hourly back in June 15th, right? So yeah, ticker symbol HUT is looking short-term bearish, but this is, I'm talking about very, very slightly. And that would be ideal for people who are actually trying to get long the asset. All right, so if you are looking at a potential long zone here, then I really can't see it other than in the 5-minute, right? The 5-minute could be facing that little bit of a retracement here. And if it does get a retracement, which is happening now, we can see the lower side of about 328. And if there is a deeper downside here, then it would be consistent to the SMA 50 and this top side of the range at 324. Let's mark it off. We'll just leave it there so that we can at least see it in the future, right? So here we go. This would be, I would actually correct it to this. 328 to 324 potential drop. 5-minute, I'm talking about the 5-minute chart. Okay, so this could happen immediately. All right, so keep an eye on that target there. But yeah, I'm bullish. Ticker symbol HUT. Good stuff, man. Good stuff. So anyway, let's go back to the chat here, right, and see what's going down. I know lots of people still talking. I got to try to move through this faster, right? So let's see. Most of us have probably lost money due to AMC. Yeah, I believe it, man. You know, that's it honestly happens like that. So Rob Zombie, what is up? Good to see you here. And Ali, you're talking about FUBO. I remember we covered that the other day, right? Did it end up doing what I said? or I don't remember, right? So let's just let's give it a quick little eyeball here and see what's up. Or did I even look at it that day? I'm sorry if I didn't, bro. Sometimes I miss tickers, and it's not intentional, right? It's just because we're trying to move ahead here, right? So we were talking about the macro breakout here, okay? So watch out for this, okay? You still have an upside coming on, but that SMA 200 is actually marking off what could be a double top here too. Okay, consistent to the 3.618 at $2.28, the SMA 50 and the top side of this range. Let's see. The high is 230, okay? 2.618 at 228. SMA 200, 232. Oh, too much resistance there, okay? Very, 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 very likely for us to find a nice resistance from that area there. Potential retracement back to 206. Between, I would say, 206 to 199. So let's mark it off there as a support, right? So right over here is the higher probability retracement target after we actually face that, let's just say, we'll mark it off like this as a resistance, starting from the 3.618 at 228 to the SMA 200 at about 232, we said, right? So 232, there we go. This is the resistance that we're looking for. This is the retracement box that we are looking for, and then we can actually combat that top side once again, okay? But what I'm saying here is that we may actually be introducing a chop zone if there isn't enough interest, retail interest, or even institutional interest, right? So daily time frame absolutely pivoted towards the upside, which makes it very obvious that the shorter time frames are also very bullish, okay? So let's see the 12-hour. 12-hour upside pivot still too, getting a little overextended here, increasing volatility, by the way. This does not mean it's done. It's in the gravitational zone, first of all, okay? What I mean by that is this. Anytime that we are within the gravitational zones of the borders here, meaning 2% up or down, when you're coming up towards this gravitational zone, this could serve as a boost. Right, so this with an upside pivot paired with volatility upside of the 15th percentile of critical volatility with both the moving average and the volatility component spectrum line, that marks off for a continuation to the upside in a very, very fashionable manner. Okay, so this is why I am but notice here, okay, just notice that we're getting overextended, right? So that is, that's consistent to what I'm talking about, right? So we're facing that resistance right up here, okay? So keep an eye on that. If you need to know what that percentage is from the current price, let's evaluate that. Bottom side of the range would be an additional 4.3%. Top side of the range would lead to around 6.2%, okay? So keep an eye on that. That could be a very nice short-term short position scalp cover down here. Entry down here and continue on the scalp, right, for the range trading. Nice. So that is FUBO. I'm bullish the asset, bro. So yeah, that's looking very, very juicy. Okay, so anyway, let's see what else we have, man. Let's see. Steve, how you doing, my brother? Arca, have you looked at BBIG in a while? Been bag holding in that for almost 2 years now. That is one promise that I made to BBIG when I said that I would stop covering it in respects to the institutions potentially looking, right? Because there was high speculation behind that. So BBIG actually gave me that huge shot. Lots of people within that ticker and lots of them actually supported me. So yes, my answer to you is absolutely, I will look at BBIG for you and see what it has. I have not looked at this in easily a few months. Right, so 8-hour time frame, very nice here that we're actually starting to get an upside cross on the MACD. Let's see. Oh, so this thing split. I haven't been following the fundamentals here, so it's $1.23. In fact, it was in like 40 cents when I remember. There it is. Yeah, it did a 1-to-20 ratio RS. Right. Okay. All right. So let's pull up the macro here. Let's look at 5-day time frame. This just reached the 52-week low again. Damn. Oh my goodness, man. It just created a death cross here too. Let me see when that death cross happened. Well, let's see the bi-weekly. I can't even see it on the bi-weekly. Man, the weekly time frame death cross. This is very likely why price action continued to the downside here. Oof, man. Okay, so this puts a real challenge to traders like me because there is no historical value. Right, what I mean by that is just look at the beginning of the trading here was around 2018, right? So we don't have literally any price action down here to consider like what's happening or what's what, right? So we could speculate, though. We could take into account the overall range low before we actually face this capitulation to the overall range high and an inverse fib. So not even that actually can tell us, man. Oh, you know what? There's another zone here. We can look at that right there. So let's see that zone just like this. I'm going to start counting some iterations of something that you need to know, because these are just strategies and ways for you to be able to tell or identify potential weakness to current trends, right? So not even that is giving it to us. All right, so yeah, I'm gonna show you something right now. Okay, so let me just hide all of these things and let me make this a little larger and show you the pattern of ladders that's happening, right? So this is very consistent to short positions, right? So this is actually wave number 1, right? We have that little green candle in between. Then we get that pump to the upside, retrace. Here's that little green candle again, right? This is now wave number 2. Here's that little green candle again. This is wave number 3. Notice how you start getting bigger candles as you come into wave number 4. That's because wave number 4 is the one that would actually start introducing a potential reversal. That's why people started getting long harder on this one. Okay, so, and in fact, it wasn't. It was actually a bull trap, continuation to the way down. This is now wave number 5. Right now we get that retracement again. So now any test after the third one, 4, 5, 6, 7, the probabilities of coming back up become a little larger and larger. I know that there have been, actually, if I do recall correctly, BBIG has actually been in court too, hasn't it? I think there's a hearing or something going on. I'm not sure, but the probabilities of retracing here start to become larger and larger when you start surpassing test number 4. So in this case, we're on test number 5 right now. Okay, so yeah, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Actually, test number 6 right now. Okay, so I've seen these things go up to test number 8 or 9 and then reverse very, very strongly. Okay, or very violently. So let me see where it's at max volatility right now, and this is actually one of the indications that there could be, mathematically speaking, a pretty heavy retracement. And I'm talking about retracement towards the upside. We are flat bottomed here in the weekly RSI. I'm sorry, the stochastic momentum. And by the way, it is at historic lows. It has literally never been this low in the entire trading history of the asset. And there's another thing to actually notice here is that there is a very, very notable regression happening, right? So these things are actually something that I do like to keep into account, right? We have the wave there, we have the wave here, wave here, wave here, wave here. So yeah, there's a very, very, very interesting, like it could be like a descending triangle here, right? Or a right angle triangle. So this marks off, you can look at it like this too, team, okay? So this marks off the very bottom side, a potential floor being found soon before this thing can actually start to make an ascent. And if it does make an ascent, what I do have to tell you here is that we're right around a 60% zone to the apex of the triangle. You all know that I speak of whenever we're close to that 65 to 70% to the apex of the triangle, that's when I start to see the potential of breakout. Okay, so yes, in this case, there is that very clear indication there. Okay, so let me go ahead and look at price action versus momentum here and see what's going down. Okay, so just like you know what, I'm gonna load up a whole new iteration here. Okay, so yeah, man, there's a lot to say here. I have several back tests for BBIG as well. Here's another indication too. Check this out. This is one huge falling wedge. No way, could it be? It's showing weird strength. I would take it with a grain of salt because of course it's been just overly bearish, right, for quite some time. But this, in all essence, is a falling wedge. And let me see. Oh my goodness. It's forming it perfectly too. Lots of contact points. And approaching the apex. So that's, I mean, it's not too far from the apex is what I'm trying to say. Oh, okay. Yeah, if there is a floor to be found, since the weekly momentum is actually still suggesting some downside here, Let's pull up the momentum. Oh, sorry, it was this right over here. Right here we go. Okay, momentum on the weekly time frame is already almost flat. Let's look at it closer. A little bit of a downside still to go. Yes, still a little bit of downside to go here, which could be consistent. I mean, I hate saying this, right? But there's no. I mean, this is 112. This is too far of a downside to even consider. If I were to tighten up the targets here, then that may actually help, right? To identify a potential target. There's no way that we're going to go into negative numbers, of course, right? So. But this is indicating that there could be a failure of the $1 mark before a continuation to the upside. So maybe it could go just sub $1 before actually trying to make an upside. But also remember that this is highly dependent on market sentiment. There's a lot of psychology within this ticker because of the enormous amount of bag holders within it. I have a small position in BBIG that I'm trying to get out right now too, alongside AMC. Not nearly as large, but I definitely have one, and I definitely know that my some of my family and members, some of my family and friends, also have positions in BBIG, right? So Vinco Ventures just kind of killing, right? Right. So I do hope to get some type of retracement here, okay? And if I can be very honest, you know what? Let's just. I'll tell you real quick. Let's see the 30-minute time frame, stochastic momentum versus volatility. Let's see what's going down here. Okay, so upside. We have an upside actually. Nice on a stochastic momentum, immediate short-term time frame, and we have critical volatility. It's decreasing volatility, so meaning less shares being traded. Okay, so hourly time frame. We have an upside as well. It's already cascading, okay? So this can actually be rejected quite soon, actually, right at around $1.27 at the SMA 50 there. Let's see the bi-hourly time frame BBIG, okay? That's already correcting. It's looking like a pretty nice upside. Let me correct this. There we go. Yeah, it's looking. I'm sorry. This still has a downside to figure. Okay, so if we are going to get that retracement from the 127 level, potential retracement can happen back to the area of about 118. Keep an eye on that. Okay, so yeah, but as far as macro closures, I guess we can also see that too. Let's go to the monthly time frame and see what it's got, if there's any potential for anything there, right? So. Just, man, this is just insanity. Huge, just massive red candles all the way down. This is crazy, right? Who would not want to fight the shorts when you're looking at this, right? So bi-monthly time frame, let's see. Also, man, just being this blood red. Quarterly time frame over in 2 hours and 48 minutes. Also super, super bearish, right? So everything is maxed out. I do have to say that everything is cooking at the very bottom. Oversold by any means, by every mean, right? So let's see the semi-annual closure coming up. Huge red candle there too. What I can say is that there is the chance. Yep, yeah, nice. Look at this. Declining volume, meaning less bear interest, with declining price, right? So if we're increasing price and declining that is a bullish divergence. So that's that's good. All right, that is good too. All right, I'm not going to say that this is the end all be all, because of course this is heavily dependent on the psychology, right? So but yeah, oh, look at this, man. Damn. January 2022, huge bearish engulfing here. This would be the candle to face, right? That's the power behind a bearish engulfing on the macro time frames, guys. Okay, so keep an eye on that. Yes, I can't say that BBIG would be facing an upside here soon or anything, right? But I know that the natural ebb and flow does present like some small shorter term time frame gain potentials, right? So come on, man, come on. The calls are still printing, but it's like they're kind of maxed out, right? This thing has been staying at the same percentage, even 13 cents into $41. Very interesting. I think it may actually shift once I go in the money. All right. Anyway, team, yeah, that's it for BBIG. We have to be a little more patient here and see what could happen with the asset, right? I mean, they're really trying to make this thing survive. But yeah, even in the monthly time frame, we can see a very clear decline in volume, right? And that paired with a downside price action, that usually means that there's an end to this downside soonish. Right, so keep an eye on that. All right, so anyway, let's go back to the broader markets over here and take a look at the current conditions. Right, 41.17 on the TQQQ, absolutely looking very powerful. Huge gap up on the day. 443.46, nearing the top side of the day. Right, the high of day is marked at 443.61. We are just a few cents away from that high of day. I'm wondering, and I'm actually very curious to see what can happen upon realizing that, right? So here's that upside that we were looking at still, right? 432 on AMC, ticker symbol APE, coming back to retest the SMA 10, located at about 176, right? Currently at that price action right now. Very nice, man, very nice. It's holding, I know it's resisting from that EMA 21, right? But it's holding pretty nicely, guys. It's not bad. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at GTII at 81.75. Man, it's really trying to combat that. Remember, GTII must close upside of 83.05 in order to invalidate those bearish engulfings, right? GTII has a bearish engulfing in the, I think it was the bi-monthly, right? So if we close this, that monthly candle, which is over in 2 hours and 44 minutes, that would mark off a very serious bearish formation, right? So I'm not saying this in videos because I don't want to be killed over here, right? But I'm just, what I can say is that I'm just kind of calling it like it is, team, okay? That's just what the charts are saying. That is what I'm going to say to you. That is my promise to you, too. Okay, so let's see. So, Steve, yeah, that is BBIG. And, oh, Steve, by the way, Steve Mertz, I actually just, I apologize about this, right? But I just noticed that your email did come in, and I will be responding to you, my friend. My apologies to that, okay? So anyway, let's see. Gary saying, hey, Arca, how are you today? If you have some time, GTII, got it, man. Got it. Check, and check, right? We're still looking at it. We're still noticing here that there's a massive rejection here on the daily. If there is a downside to be figured, of course, it would be in printing the daily candle looking like that. Shooting star that it's printing, right? That would introduce a downside right after it. But we still have about 2 hours and 43 minutes to go. That is still kind of an eternity away. So we'll evaluate it as we go. No problem there. All right. So now let's see. Berenson, what's up, man? If I had taken losses, all 10 of the stocks I was stuck in, I would have had money to trade with. I wouldn't have traded money. Yeah. Oh, I understand. Cryptic, what's up, man? That's the retail term. Pros don't do that. That's absolutely true. But you do you. Just my input. Don't. Okay. Right. I'm sorry. You're talking to someone else, right? So, let's see. Let's continue on right here. So TTOO. Yeah, my brother. Let's go ahead and take a look at that. I know we've been looking at it over the past few days too, right? So, all right, here. Yeah, here's the what we were talking about, right? Potential shakeout before an upside. Recovering pretty nicely. That means that ticker symbol WULF could be recovering too. There you go, testing that SMA 50 upside of our range, right? So yeah, keep an eye on this, team. This is doing what we essentially talked about, right? So anyway, yeah, I want to load up. And where's Finger right now? Yeah, ticker symbol FNGR still within this bound. I'm not sure that we're going to be able to reach this today, as the high of day is likely already printed right at that 320. But TTO, let's see, yeah, just trying to help out on a brother stuck in BBIG. Absolutely, man. Thank you, Cryptic. So TTOO, let's load it. Man, team, I gotta take a tum. I'm getting like, man, I shouldn't have eaten that pizza last night. Too much tomato sauce gets me to have this this gnarly reaction. I don't know if any of you have that, but it actually just gives me so much like it gives me so much like acid reflux. Pineapple does that too, and I'm not sure if it's actually the enzymes. But yeah, hold on, team. Let me just get it. The Tums are right behind me, but I need to step away from my desk. Hold on just a sec. I'm chewing. I just don't want you to hear me chew. Hold on. It tastes good though. It's the mint ones. Hold up, hold up. All right. I think, yeah, I hope that helps, man. That feels really good. Shh. Those mint Tums, man, they taste so freaking good. And it feels cold in your stomach afterward. TTOO. All right. Check. Oh, man. Nice. Check this out. TTOO potentially building a bullish. Nope. It's not a bullish engulfing. Almost, though. Right? But closing this 4-hour candle upside of the opening from the prior candle would be suggestion for a continuation to the upside even still. Okay, so let's see this. What are we holding here? Johnny Barnes saying take a look at ticker symbol top. Of course, we'll go ahead and take a look at that next. In fact, let me just mark it off real quick so that I don't forget, right? So master layout here, and yeah, man, BBIG, holy crap. That's a tough one, man. Lots of weird fundamentals going on with that. Okay, so yeah, we'll look at this, my bro. It's gapped up, huge gap up, by the way. So yeah, let's look at where is it? TTOO. Let me pull up the daily time frame to see what's going down here. Okay, so huge failure. Let me start getting rid of these trend lines here because we don't want to confuse retail either, right? So this is no longer necessary. This is no longer necessary either. Okay, good deal. Let's see. Okay, so we are approaching already the previous day high, okay, which is usually an area of resistance, right? It's naturally an area of resistance. Day traders tend to keep in mind the previous day low, the previous day high, and also the pre-market activity, right? Pre-market high and pre-market lows. This is currently why the price action is rejecting from, from around 70, let's see, 700, right? Very close to that 700 now. It's because of the prior day high. Okay, so another reason why we could be rejecting is as well the 1.618 at 704. So we definitely have lots of things kind of rejecting from those targets there. So if we are to see the potential of a correction, then let me actually notice a couple things first. This technically could be. I mean, it's really hard to look at it like this because this is. I mean, I don't like to look at it like this all the time, but if I have to, I have to, right? So this is wave number 1, 2, 3, 4 consolidation. This likely means that we're in the process of forming a bottom here. So if it is the bottom that we're facing, meaning the yesterday's low of day, which was around 661, then this could be preparing for an upside continuation. And it usually works when we're consolidating within an area, right? So when we do get long periods of consolidation, that's usually when we start getting some nice potentials for an upside continuation, okay? So this is something that we want to keep an eye on. Let's see here. Let's look at the immediate short-term time frame. Let's pull up the indicators. Ooh, it's already cascading into each other. I can see it, man. So 30-minute time frame upside pivot on the stochastics, critically low volatility though. We're getting a decrease in bear pressure on the MACD. That's nice. Hourly time frame has an upside pivot too in critical volatility. Currently facing a rejection from the SMA 14 on the RSI 1-hour chart. Okay, so I'm liking that the MACD is starting to print some green bars too. So yeah, the fact that it isn't so violent to the upside, in fact, it's very slow. Is telling me that we could be consolidating over the next few hours. Okay, so we still have, yeah, this could be the prior cycle. Okay, 4-hour time frame has that upside. 6-hour, yeah, we have some consolidation happening here, team. If TTOO is going to make an upside, I would actually have to favor the potential of an upside coming on next week, maybe Monday. Okay, so as there's a very clear indication of a chop zone right now. Okay, but it's a good thing if we can continue consolidating within here when we are consolidating here in a shorter time frame or any time frame at that in critical levels. The retracement, or mathematically speaking, the retracement from this, the increase of volatility from this should be pretty strong. historically speaking, of course, too. Okay, so yeah, I would say that the bottom is likely in, right? And then we could continue to the upside. Interesting. 4-hour print here, bearish engulfing, actually kind of ignored it. But if there is a downside to be figured, then yeah, remember I'm talking about an overall chop zone here. We have a bottom side to look at, a bottom side range, 673 to about 661. It's not so big. All right, so yeah, that's the consolidation phase that we're looking at. As long as we are maintaining the support and not falling beneath the inflection zone, which is anything below 653, then we're okay. All right, team. So TTOO could be making its moves. Not today, in my personal opinion, but anything can happen, right? But I'm honestly favoring the coming of next week. All right, so yeah, man, that is definitely it right there. So Joel saying, can you look at RXT? What is RXT, my brother? Let's see it. So RXT, and before I do so, we have to look at ticker symbol top. And let me look at the broader markets, right? 41.10. Oh man, look at that. 443.49, actually marking off a higher high on the day. And now this 443.61 has been marked the top side of the day. Now this candle here has 443.61, very likely why we're resisting, right? This candle high here and this candle high. Okay, very nice, man. Very, very nice. Jeez Louise. Okay, so anyway, let's go ahead and go back here to ticker symbol TOP. And I'm going to bring up that ticker symbol RXT right next to it. So we'll continue with that. Not a problem, right? So let's see. I need some wins here very soon. What are your best short-term winners? So Steve, if you are in the Discord, I'm going to be posting plays soon. It's just the reason why I haven't put up too many plays. In fact, I put up a play for ticker symbol VOCL, and it immediately got invalidated. It actually stopped us out, and I knew better. I said that the economic reports coming out can present serious volatility here. There's invalidation of plays everywhere, right? So usually when we have Fed speaking, when we have CPI coming out, PCE just came out, right? Jobless claims today, lots of catalysts in a macroeconomic perspective, right? So usually when you're getting that type of market fluctuation, that type of market condition, then you get a higher fluctuation, right? So I noticed that the play got invalidated immediately, and I'm like, you know what? I can't actually justify putting up any plays right now because of all this macro data. So, but usually, yes, I put up daily watch lists, and also I do Arca scans plays, which I'm gonna get back to this coming week. Like I said, I'm not seeing any news coming up, right? So, let's see. I did well on SOUN, but I don't hold any position right now. Watching it closely, good deal. That is absolutely yes. I encourage that. So, okay, guess I'll go try and figure out that Discord thing. I'm kind of old school and have not used a lot of these social media apps. So, look at this, okay? Let me go ahead and just pull that up. It's when you get there. Can you let me know your username right now? And I'll actually try and get you in without verification, because I know, man, that's going to be actually kind of difficult for someone like you. Like, you're telling me you don't have too much experience within that, right? So when you jump on into the server, you're going to likely land into this page here called the landing pad, right? So that's, the only thing that you're going to see here is actually the introduce yourself, because you haven't gone through the verification process. So let me know here in the chat what your username is. Steve, I'm talking to you, okay? So let me know what your username is, and I'll go ahead and set your roles, right? So that you don't have to go through that long verification process. I keep a verification in there so that we don't. There are so many Arca imposters. It's ridiculous, man. In fact, I'm actually getting. I'm getting DMs all the time regarding that type of stuff. Okay, so when you land here, I'll try to give you access to it. A lot of people coming into the introduce yourself, and you type in who you are or whatever, right? So then you just say hello. From that point on, then you'll get the visibility of all of these channels. When you see Arca Bulls channels here, This is like where I announce the plays for the day or whenever I'm live, right? This is the verification process where you have to go through, right? You have to do hashtag checkmark verification in order for you to start that process. It's all good if you don't. Remember, so it's going to be merch number 1515. Okay, yeah, come by. And let me actually just give you that invite right now, right? So I can actually just post it for you right over here. Click on this link, and then you could be directed to that page, right? Here you go. It's in the chat, and I'll give you access into that, right? So then after that, this is where I play. This is where I post the plays, okay? Strategy plays. This is usually where I post things like this, right? So in case anyone else is interested, right? This is where strategic plays are placed, right? Just like this here, where like for example, UCAR, right? So we have the this is for paper trading, of course. We were trying to keep retail safe. Okay, so these are the long targets that I'm looking at. This is I'm sorry, the entry targets and then the target range, stop losses in there or whatever, right? Stop loss here, entry range, take profit range. So this is usually the setup that I ended up putting, and then you would do your own due diligence, right? And try to validate or invalidate the play that I'm suggesting, right? So then from there, we just do our thing. We discuss the play and everything else. It's a nice community. It's a good place for people to come and talk and learn some stuff, right? I just added a new channel here. This is Options Plays, right? So now we're going to be talking about a potential strategy plays regarding options contracts, okay? So this is now in the Discord too. So just to show you, okay, always know that this is my picture, okay? Arca Bulls right over here. I'm not gonna message you first as a direct message. So if any Arca is trying to send you a message, know for a fact that it's not me and deny it, okay? Because I don't send anyone messages first, okay? So make sure to do that. Don't get trapped in that, okay? So, but to the left hand side, know that this is the server, right? This is what's called the server, the Arca Bull server. You make sure to click on that image, then all of these things pop up. If you follow other servers, then they'll pop up here for you. Okay, so and then whatever the server has to offer, it's within here. Okay, within these areas here. Okay, team. So that's kind of how it works there. So I hope this kind of gives you a little bit of light. Let's see. It's telling me unable to accept. Where were you? Sorry, accept. Let me go into the landing pad. Did you actually show up? I don't see you there though. Let's see. Unable to accept invite. Okay, well, why don't we do this? Let me go to the landing pad here and click on that. Let me just click on the link here. Let's see. Okay, yeah, let me use this one here. Give that to you one more time. Let me see if, yeah, this is a slightly different one. Click on that one instead and see if it actually gets you to the landing pad. And then I'll accept you, man. Yeah, I want you to feel comfortable going into this, because it's very helpful. It's very helpful for the communities. I love it. But we still have to talk about a couple of tickers here, right? So try to click on that, Steve, and let me see if you do show up. I have you on my screen above, and I'm watching. Okay, so anyway, team. So ticker symbol TOP actually gapped up in the day and came back and closed it. Very, very nice. Okay, so if we are getting that touch and the resistance here, that means that the continuation to the upside is actually more imminent than not. Have you looked at SOUN today? I have not, but we can, right? So let's we'll keep an eye on that too. Let's see here. 30-minute immediate short-term time frame, it could be a good area to start with, right? So we're actually getting a correction here. There could be an upside to continue, and we may be ending a cycle. Okay, yeah, there's still some downside to go. In fact, for the shorter time frame, I could actually introduce you to maybe, I mean, I know that's kind of low, right? But there is a probability here that we can come back into what's called a I'm sorry, that this is an imbalance. There we go. So the imbalance happens. I know that this is 2 candles away from it, right? I get it, but I do see that this wick here and this wick here have created a sort of gap, right? So we can keep that gap in line, right? And this could be one of the zones that we can retrace back to. Right, so resistance could be found very, very short term in the 961 zone, pull back to around this area here, get long, and then continue on to the upside. Because the upside could be starting a new phase on the 30-minute. But as of now, we do have some ebb and flow, and it is showing that we could retrace ever so slightly here. So is that you? Is that T-Dog just showed up? Who's T-Dog in the chat? Please let me know in the chat if you are T-Dog. My man, the one and only chart whisperer, Hopium, what is up, my dude? I'm sorry I actually didn't reply to your message. I did notice it yesterday, the comment, right? So, yeah, dude, I'm very curious over all that news that the CLMV asset had to put out, right? You know that I don't look at fundamentals myself. I only look at what the chart says, and that's it. So, but yeah, it was very curious to read what you shared with me in the comment. Thank you, by the way. So, yeah, chat. Who here is T-Dog? Is any of you T-Dog in Discord? And I know, Steve, you already gave me your username, Mertz1515. But I want to know if anyone here is T-Dog. As we just got a new user step in. Right, so anyway, team, yes, short-term upside, short-term pullback, potential continuation to the upside is what I'm looking at for ticker symbol top, as it's looking okay, all right? 6-hour time frame still has that upside pivot. 8-hour time frame still has that upside pivot. So this is why I'm saying very short term. All right, team, keep your eye on this. But coming into the 12-hour time frame or 8-hour time frame, we could potentially see a top side of around 1022, and that could be over the next couple days. So keep an eye on those targets as well. Okay. So, yeah, that's it for ticker symbol top. Let's look at ticker symbol RXT here. Look at that thing pushing to the upside even still. Very nice here. Look at this. 4-hour time. We're just going to go ahead and start it off where it matters, man. 4-hour time frame. Look at this. Absolute upside pivot. Critical volatility right now. Still actually expanding. This is very likely to continue on to the upside. I know that the RSI is already a little overcooked in the 4 hours. So let's look at the daily time frame. Historically speaking, the RSI can still continue to the upside for a few more percent. So this is 79.31 at the top side of this iteration from back here in 2021 January, right? So yeah, this can continue to the upside ever so slightly. I can see actually a retracement happening either now or right at about 317. If it does get that push to the upside, right? So 317 would be a natural pullback. In fact, I mean, we're at a resistance literally right now. Yeah, see, we just got a little retracement there. So this would be 317 at the top side of it. And then if you could actually face one more upside of it, this would be the FOMO impulse, right? So right up here, that would be the people trying to get long at the top of the range, right? So it's just incredibly dangerous, guys. Know for a fact that there's also an inverse herpy-derpy happening over here too, right? So that can also introduce a topside target for us, right? Let's go ahead and take note of a neckline here. Could be something along the lines of that. And let me just make sure that I can actually line this up nicely. I'm going to get rid of that trend line. Let me see the inverse of that, which could actually be right over here, right? I'm going to favor that for now. This could be that neckline, right? So let's take the measurement from the top of the neckline, or at the neckline, sorry, to the very bottom side of the head, and then you apply this to the top side of the shoulder, which could actually be here. And the top side target, the figure here, is very curious as it's taking you to a daily gap almost perfectly. Let me show you. Right over here, this gap. Okay, so let's yeah, look at that. It's perfectly to it. I don't think that we can reach that in one day. Anything is possible in a day, right? But I don't think we can reach it. It's at 292 right now. Very likely to find resistance at 317. And if it does surpass the 317, then I gave you the psychological FOMO area to take a look at for retracement, right? So this is it's very bullish actually. Upon the retracement from either of these targets here, I am not looking at this as bearish by any means. I'm just looking at this as temporary downside reaccumulation before a continuation to the upside, right? So, Steve, I still don't see you in the Discord, but I'll keep an eye on it even throughout the day, right? As I want to try to help you out as much as possible, right? So RXT is actually still upward bound here, 293. It's still climbing, right? So very nice, man. TQQQ at 4120 right now. My goodness. Anyway, team, yeah, this is looking massively powerful, and okay, yeah, we're getting the retracement from the top side of the zone right now, right? Bottom side of the range, which honestly could pull back ever so slightly here to, I'd say, about 284. before a continuation, right? So I'm about ready to scalp a quick short on the SPY at 43.60. Your thoughts on it, bro? Let's go ahead and take a look at the SPY real fast. 443.87. This is marking off the double top that I'm talking about. Quick scalp entry now, right? But this is a very aggressive entry right now, meaning short position literally at this point, right as we speak. Retracement would actually mark off. If you could get maybe 2 points to the short position, then that would be incredible. Actually, you may not even see that, as there is a range of about, let's see, 443.83 to around 442.58. A 2 point short may not be bad. In fact, that can also be long put. Right, so if you can do, I mean, honestly, when this thing happens here, 0 DTE options would be honestly the best type of gainer, right? But don't take that as financial advice. 0 DTE is very dangerous to trade, as it can present serious losses, right? Because it's literally 0 DTE. And yeah, so the entry already is happening, and it's actually looking nice thus far. Okay, it is declining a little bit, is rejecting from that top side, right? If you did get that entry, congratulations. I would have already done it myself. So Hopium saying 0 DTE is all I do. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, man. Serious gains there, very high risk. So if you are exposed to that market movement, look at this. Yeah, succeeding the support here, right? So this is, if you did catch entry where I said good, okay. But this is now serving as resistance, potential continuation to the way down thus far. Okay, so, and this is all looked at from a daily time frame, by the way. So I know lots of people actually trade these scalps on a 5 minute, but that is not essentially my best type of play. 5 minute candle started here. Of course, we're going to get a little bit of retracement. It's not bad. I do think that this can actually start facing resistance now. Potential drop to around 443.26. Temporary stop to validate the resistance of 443.53. This trade here, this short scalp, can last about 15 minutes to 20 minutes. I would say around there. Okay, so but yeah, keep an eye on this, right? If you did get long a put at that 443.89 where we talked about, or got short there, then you should be in the money right now, and currently facing a little bit of an upside. But I do still think that we can face a little bit of a rejection here. It is only natural. We have huge upside already. Okay, so another thing to mention here is that on the 5 minute time frame, although it's very hard to validate formations within this time frame here, is indicating a continuation to drop here to around the area of 443.50 already happening, right? So 443.62 will continue on that. SMA 10 located there. We want to convert that into a resistance so that we can continue on to 443.25, where we could then validate 443.42 as a resistance level, and then we could actually, make the move that counts the most. So I'm going to enter after 2:30 p.m. Okay, gotcha. You're talking about, how do you know, 2:30 p.m.? Oh, wherever you are. Sorry. I'm like, everything revolves around me. Nothing matters here. So Cryptic Trader saying, all I trade is 5 minute, but not from here. I'll wait for a break of 9 EMA, and then, see, that's what I mean, is that would be a highly aggressive move. I personally, I gave you the play the way I would have played it, right? So I entered myself, right, 443.89, currently in the money right now. I know it's not enough, right? So I want to get at least a multi-point move. Here's the drop that we're talking about at 443.50, right? This is literally what we're mentioning. Potential bounce from this zone at the SMA 10, right, will essentially get the test of the resistance back to around, let's see, I would say around 443.65 on a bounce, right? So, but yeah, my entry was essentially 443.89, currently in the money. I'd say about 0.6%, right? So this is naturally how I personally scalp, right? So just to kind of show you the strategy at play. Let's see. Okay, I think I got in. Oh my God, I need social media training as well. I hear that, man. I totally hear that. So let's see. Okay, yes, definitely not quite in the money where we want to be just yet, right? So this is the rejection I'm talking about. Potential touch of 443.60 before a continuation to the downside. It happens like this all the time, guys. It really does. Here it is, right? We just got it was like 443.57, right? So we're looking at 443.60. Here it is, right? There it is. And here's the 60. Let the 60, we have to resist at the 60. There you go. Right? And then a continuation to the downside. So, I mean, if we can get resistance like that and continue validating them, then the downside becomes more probabilistic, right? So, yeah, just keep an eye on those things, okay, team? But it plays out pretty nicely, okay? So, if you are, man, just don't. You're playing with fire here too, okay? Because we're talking about a conversion of a bull cycle right now. So playing the downside is high risk, okay? But 443.60 is a resistance level that is very hard to beat because it's the top side of this range here, okay? So just know that I also trade ranges like that, right? But you also have to keep in mind the current trend. So you're playing counter trend trading right now. It's okay as long as we do know the areas of resistance and support. Okay, so that's good. That's good. Congratulations if you did catch that entry. All right, but yeah, we want to validate at least with a 5-minute candle here, over in 30 seconds. We want to validate that 443.60 as resistance, and it's so far looking pretty good. 24 seconds left to close this candle. Potential touch of that 443.60 one more time on the opening of the following candle. Then a retracement could happen there, right? So we want to continue validating candles of resistance. Right, so that's usually how I scalp, you know, the very short micro time frames. Okay, so let's see, 4 seconds left. Here's a new candle. We could get that top side in now. It could be okay, 443.57. Yeah, rejection here. Right, now conversion of the SMA 10. Come on, we have to do it. So sorry that it takes long like this, team. Right, but I did say it's around 15-minute scalp. Guys, you should know the short thesis, okay? Keep your eyes on a short thesis, because if you don't know the short play, then you don't have an edge, right? So you want to know how to play offense and defense in order for you to make a killing in the markets in the first place, right? You can't go driving. You literally can't go driving without with being opposed to hitting the brake. And you're only going to hit the gas, right? Just like you can't go driving and just to only hit the brake and not hit the gas. All right? So, yeah, literally, man, it's just the natural ebb and flow, right? So, it's no problem. So, but yeah, anyway, team. So I think let me actually pull out of this chart real quick. I want to see what's going down with right, I want to see the TQQQ 441.16, not bad. Okay, so wow, yeah, this thing is super bullish, man. You're playing fire with downside right now, man. Be very careful. Okay, the markets are getting the news that they want. So you man, look at that, AMC creating some upside too. Nice. 178 on APE. Ticker symbol VIRI looking at 147. Not bad. I like it, team. Everything is looking good. But yeah, team, I actually have to call it here. Definitely. There you go, Mertz. I see you in there, my bro. Let me go ahead and add the rolls to you so you don't have to, do that crazy thing, right? So you'll notice here that I'm going to put that you're an Arca bear and an Arca bull, right? So that roll is assigned to you now. Go ahead and now from this zone here, see, I just assigned you, right? This is you. Right, so now you can see all these channels here. The community chat is usually where people go to, and also strategy plays is where I talk about. This under strategy plays are all the tickers that I usually post, right? So there's a lot more. It's just these are the ones that I've been posting as of late. Okay, so that's just how it plays off. Okay, but yeah, congratulations, my brother. Welcome, and we'll talk some more, right? But yeah, team, I think this is a pretty good place for me to leave off. Keep an eye on your plays, okay? I think we got some pretty good reads, at least for what happened today. Not a problem, Steve. I'm very happy to help. Okay, so yeah, like I said, team, I think we have some pretty good read over the market sentiment today. So we'll keep an eye over what's happening. All right, team. But yeah, I'll try to post up. Actually, yes, I'm gonna post up some plays Sunday. So that we can actually look at, whatever happening on Monday. I just want the market closure to happen today, and then I'll start running scans over the markets and see what tickers could be in play. All right, team. But yeah, with that said, I wish you all very well, a very, very good rest of your Friday. I wish you a great weekend as well, of course. And I'll talk to you soon. All right, team. Later, everybody. Thank you for coming by. Peace, peace, peace. Adios.